Now to Zubair Iqbal from the Middle East Institute in Washington, D.C. Mr. Iqbal, thank you for joining us. You heard there our correspondent at the UN General Assembly. Tough talk, very threatening rhetoric there from Imran Khan during his speech. We've got two nuclear nations here. Threatening rhetoric. Is Kashmir heading for a full-blown conflict?
Well, you see, this is a very difficult situation, and Imran Khan is in a very awkward position where, quite clearly, given the significantly stronger economic position of India, other countries are benefiting from that and are not willing to take a position that will adversely impact their relations with India. But in the process, they are sacrificing a fundamental moral issue, which is based on the disputed status of Kashmir and Jammu, which has been recognized by everybody and is so recognized by the United Nations. Under these circumstances, it's to be expected that a leader like Imran Khan, who is at this moment sandwiched between, on the one hand, the world, which is being very cautious, and the other side, a domestic constituency, particularly in Kashmir, which is very much up in the arms and can cause problems not simply in Pakistan but clearly for India. So
do you think his speech was appealing to world leaders as a sort of wake-up call to them?
Very much so. That was the whole idea, because there is only that much that he can do on his own, particularly on the domestic front. The problem is universal. It's a global problem. And
but some are also saying that he can also, on the domestic front, appeal to these militant groups, which India is claiming is exacerbating the tension.
But there aren't any. You see, this is my point. What's happening is that over time, these groups have disappeared. They become ineffective. And to the credit of the Pakistani government, they've been able to control them, contain them, and basically eliminate their ability to go and cause mischief in the Indian territories. Now, under those circumstances, there has to be some degree of quid pro quo. There has to be some compromises on the other side if you're going to protect against, one, either declaration on by those very forces which have been subdued to go back in and start creating problems, or alternatively, the conflict between Pakistan and India to take a more ominous sign. Now,
shouldn't the people of Kashmir just be allowed to decide their future with a vote, whether they want to remain with India, join Pakistan, or become an independent nation?
That's very much the case. That's exactly what the United Nations Security Council had agreed on. There was supposed to be a plebiscite. But that plebiscite hasn't taken place because the Indian position is that the Kashmir, in fact, even including the Kashmir under control of Pakistan, is part of India, and India does not have to hold any plebiscite over there. The argument that they typically put forth is the following, that India is a secular state. If it were to allow Kashmir, which is a Muslim majority state, to decide for itself where it wants to go, it will definitely go to Pakistan, and that will tend to then adversely impact the character of the Indian Union, which is, from everybody's point of view, a very meaningless argument. But what boils down to is, you have to find a solution to the problem. It's 8 million people who can be in very difficult situation. Already, the unemployment rate in that state has gone to 27%, number one. The economy has contracted for the last 2 months. Under these circumstances, if things are not brought to normal levels, it will go worse. And when it goes worse, likelihood of bloodshed and a conflict will be serious.
Okay. Zubair Iqbal from the Middle East Institute in Washington, D.C., thank you very much for your analysis. Thank you.